So, good morning, everyone. My name is Arfath, and I teach history on the textbook platform. So, in this session, let us take a look at the previous year questions asked in the UPSC Civil Services examination. So, we will take a look at the previous year questions asked from the topic Indus Valley Civilization. Good point. So, let us spend some time in going through and understanding how UPSC has asked questions from the Indus Valley Civilization in the last couple of years. Chapter point. Take a look at the first question. So this question was asked way back in 1994. 30 years ago, this question was asked. Once again, a very good morning, everyone. Take a look at this question. Question was asked way back in 1994. So the earliest evidence of silver in India is found in the, that's the question. So basically the question is asking us to identify the earliest time period during which silver was used in India. So take a look at the four options given. One is the Harappan culture. Second is the Chalcolithic cultures of Western India. Third is the Vedic text. And fourth is the silver punch marked coins. Let us understand the time periods of the four options given. The Vedic culture, that is the Harappan culture, basically the Harappan civilization flourished between 2600 BC to about 1900 BC. And we have evidence to prove that the Harappans were certainly aware of, they were certainly aware of, uh, they were certainly aware of silver. They were certainly aware of silver. That's the point. Then Chalcolithic cultures. So the Chalcolithic cultures of Western India are said to have used copper for making various tools, weapons, and jewelry, but not silver jewelry. So the point is the Chalcolithic cultures. What is the time period of Chalcolithic cultures in India? So the Chalcolithic cultures flourished between 3000 BC to about say 700 BC. That's the time period of Chalcolithic in India. But the Chalcolithic cultures mostly used copper tools, weapons, and objects. They also used copper jewelry as well. But we don't have any evidence to suggest the use of silver during the Chalcolithic cultures of Western India. Take a look at the Vedic texts. The Vedic text, they are said to have been composed between 1500 BC to about 600 BC, and we have evidence to prove that the people who composed the Vedic text were definitely aware of silver. So they were also aware of silver. So punch marked coins, these are basically the earliest coins of India. These coins were used as a mode of exchange. And these punch marked coins basically came into circulation in about 600 BC. They came into circulation in about 600 BC. At a point. So these punch marked coins were mostly made up of silver, but some coins they were also made up of copper, but mostly silver. And these coins are referred to as Karshapana. Karshapana. Now, what is the answer? So the earliest evidence of silver in India is found in the, where do you get the earliest evidence of silver in India? Take a look at, I have also written the timelines for each of these cultures. So undoubtedly, the earliest evidence of the use of silver comes from the Harappan culture, because the timeline here is 2600 BC to 1900 BC. Chalcolithic cultures do not give evidence of the use of silver, but Vedic texts certainly they contain the evidence of use of silver, but they belong to 1500 to 600 BC. Punch-marked coins were also made in silver, but they were used in 600 BC. Of the four options given, the right option is the Harappan culture. Is this question Okay, the point is a student has commented that the D is the option. D is not the option. Of the four options, the earliest evidence undoubtedly comes from Harappan culture. Fine. So the answer for the first question is A. Take a look at the second question. This is also a question which is a very expected one and which was asked way back in 2001 itself. It could be asked in another fashion as well. But take a look at this question. Which one of the following animals was not represented on the seals and terracotta art of the Harappan culture? Those students who do not know what seals are basically coin-like objects which have been found in large numbers from the Harappan cities. Okay, point. So basically, the coins are seals are basically coin-like objects which have been discovered in large numbers from the Harappan cities. Terracotta, on the other hand, refers to fire-baked earthen clay objects. Fire-baked earthen clay objects. Earthen clay objects. So, for example, anything that is made up of mud and is burnt is referred to as a terracotta. So the question is, which one of the following animals was not represented on the seals and terracotta art of the Harappan culture? Terracotta art means, say, for example, on the pottery, so this is a pottery. So on the pottery as well, various animals were represented during the Harappan times. So the question is asking, which was not the animal that was not represented? Which was the animal that was not represented on the seals and terracotta art of the Harappan culture? So the four options given here are cow, elephant, rhinoceros, tiger. This is a question which is very, very important. The answer is cow. This is because the Harappans have depicted numerous animals on the seals, on the pottery, etc. But one animal which was conspicuous by its absence was a cow. Mind you, bull was depicted, and in fact, a bull seal, that is, a seal containing the image of a bull, has been discovered from Mohenjo-Daro. Mohenjo-Daro is a very important city of the Indus Valley Civilization, from where a seal containing the image of a bull has been discovered. Similarly, numerous seals with elephant, rhinoceros, tigers, etc. have been discovered. In fact, of all the animals that was depicted on the seals, the largest, the most frequent animal that was depicted on the seals happened to be an animal called unicorn. This is not mentioned in the options here, but of all the animals depicted on the seals by the Harappans, so the unicorn was the most frequent animal. It was depicted on a large number of seals. But most scholars believe that this unicorn was not a real animal at all. It is basically, according to scholars, a mythical animal. Mythical means that this animal does not exist in reality. It was basically the creation of the Harappans. The animal is born out of the imagination of the Harappans. That's the point. So the point is, the most frequent found animal on the seals is a unicorn. But besides unicorn, the Harappans have also depicted other types of animals, a range of other animals such as bull, elephant, rhinoceros, tiger, etc., etc. But the point is, cow was not depicted on the seals at all. This is very, very interesting. Why, we really do not know. Bull was depicted, but cow was not depicted at all. Good point. You're right. You are right, Pratik. You are right. This unicorn is basically a one-horned animal, but most scholars believe that this unicorn is not a real animal. It was basically born out of the imagination of the Harappans. So this question was asked way back in 2001. The answer for this question is A. A is the right answer. Take a look at the third question. Which one of the following ancient towns is well known for its elaborate system of water harvesting and management by building a series of dams and channeling waters into the connected reservoirs? What is the answer for this question? Anyone? So basically, this question is asking us to identify the site which gives evidence of dams, which gives evidence of water harvesting structures, which gives evidence of reservoirs. So basically, this question is asking us to identify the site which gives evidence of dams, water harvesting structures and reservoirs. The site of Indus Valley city. So take a look at the four options here. One is Dholavira. Dholavira is basically located in the run of Kutch region of Gujarat. The run of Kutch region of Gujarat. It is in the run of Kutch region of Gujarat, Dholavira is located. Kalibangan, on the other hand, is located in Rajasthan. Then Rakhigarhi is located in Haryana. Then Ropar is also located in Haryana. The point. So the point is, it is said that this Dholavira was located in a region where the availability of water was very, very less. So Dholavira did not have any major river. Dholavira also did not receive adequate rainfall. So there was basically Dholavira was a water scarce region, and therefore the people of Dholavira are said to have constructed numerous reservoirs and water harvesting structures. In fact, in the entire Harappan civilization, the only site that gives evidence of the presence of reservoirs and water harvesting structures is Dholavira. In fact, we did not get evidence of reservoirs and water harvesting systems from any other site of Indus Valley civilization other than Dholavira. So this is also a question, very, very important one. So the right answer for this question is Dholavira, because Kalibangan, Rakhigarhi and Ropar uh, uh, did not have any reservoirs or water harvesting systems. They were found exclusively in Dholavira. So the point is, these reservoirs and water harvesting systems were neither found in Mohenjo-Daro or even in Harappa. These systems were exclusive to Dholavira. So this question was asked way back in like 3 years ago. This question came, that is in 2021, a very, very important one. Which one of the following ancient towns is well known for its elaborate system of water harvesting and management by building a series of dams channelizing water into connected reservoirs? So in fact, this question was asked many times in different examinations in various ways, but this is a question which has been asked in a couple of exams. So this question was not a shocker at all. So those students who have attended the lectures on ancient Indian history who would have easily attempted this particular question. So the answer for this question is Dholavira, located in Gujarat. Then take a look at this question. Which one of the following is not a Harappan site? Not a Harappan site. Basically, this question is asking us to identify a site which is not a Harappan site. So students who have some basic understanding of important Harappan sites should not find it very difficult in attempting this question. So take a look at the four options given. So let us answer this question with elimination method. So it is very easy to identify Chanhudaro, because Chanhudaro is undoubtedly an Indus Valley civilization site, or it is a Harappan site. The question is asking us to identify a site which is not a Harappan site. So Chanhudaro is located in the Sindh region of Pakistan. So Chanhudaro is a very, very important Indus Valley site. Similarly, Kot DG is another very important Indus Valley site located in again the Sindh region of Pakistan. Sindh region of Pakistan. So the first and the second one can be easily eliminated. This should not be the answer. This also should not be the answer. The tie will be definitely between C and D. But the point is, Soha Gaura, I have discussed Soha Gaura in a different context. So I referred to Soha Gaura when we discussed about the Mauryan age. So as a part of a discussion relating to the Mauryas, I have discussed the Soha Gaura. So at Soha Gaura, an inscription issued by Chandragupta Maurya has been discovered. At Soha Gaura, basically the Soha Gaura is a site located in UP, the two in the eastern part of UP. This is Soha Gaura is located. And from Soha Gaura, an inscription issued by Chandragupta Maurya has been discovered. An inscription issued by Chandragupta Maurya has been discovered. So this inscription speaks about or talks about the construction of a warehouse. It speaks about the construction of a warehouse by Chandragupta Maurya. Basically, it is said that during Chandragupta Maurya's period, a famine broke out, and the famine continued for many years. As a result of the famine, a large number of people died. So therefore, Chandragupta Maurya is said to have instructed his officers to construct a warehouse in which grains could be stored for use during times of famines. Let me repeat this point once again. So the Soha Gaura inscription is basically a copper plate inscription. So this Soha Gaura copper plate inscription speaks about the relief measures carried out during Chandragupta Maurya's time period. According to this inscription, Chandragupta Maurya is said to have instructed his officers to construct a warehouse to store the food grains to be used in times of famines. So basically, Soha Gaura is definitely not an Indus Valley site. This Soha Gaura is basically a site belonging to the Mauryan times. Clearly, the Soha Gaura is basically a site belonging to the Mauryan times, and more importantly, Indus Valley civilization was spread mostly in the northwest part of the Indian subcontinent. Take a look at the geographical extent of the Harappan civilization. To the north was Himalayas. To the south was, say, Gujarat. To the east was, say, western Uttar Pradesh. And to the east is Afghanistan. So this was the area in which the Indus Valley civilization was located. To the north is Himalayas. To the south is Gujarat. To the east is a western part of Uttar Pradesh, and to the east is what we have, I'm sorry, to the east is a western part of UP, and to the west is we have Afghanistan. So basically, this Soha Gaura is a site located in eastern UP. It is a site located in eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. So Soha Gaura is basically an Indus Valley site. Though even if we do not know much about Desalpur, we should still be in a position to answer this particular question, because anyway, when we had discussion on the Indus Valley civilization, I discussed about Chanhudaro and Kot DG. I may not have discussed about Desalpur, but I made a reference to Soha Gaura when we discussed about the Mauryas. So the answer for this question is Soha Gaura. Soha Gaura is not a Harappan site. Desalpur, it's a small, no, it's not a very prominent Indus Valley site. So Desalpur is basically a very less known Harappan site located in Gujarat. It's a less known Harappan site located in Gujarat, that is Desalpur. This question was asked in 2019. So anyone can easily eliminate option A and option B. So the tie will be between option C and D, but those students who have some better understanding of history should not find it difficult to answer this question, because Soha Gaura is basically a site belonging to the Mauryan times. The point. So it means that it is not a part of the Harappan site. So the answer is C, option C. Take a look at the fifth question that was asked in, say, way back in 1998. What is the correct chronological order in which the following appeared in India? What is the correct chronological order in which the following appeared in India? What's the answer? What's the answer? Anyone? What is the correct chronological order in which the following appeared in India? Anyone? Pratik, Shivani? Not very difficult to answer, because we have already discussed some points. Pratik, is it D? So let us discuss this part. So the point is, when did gold coins come into use in India for the first time? So the use of gold coins in India began in the first century AD. So gold coins for the first time were used in India in the first century AD, and they were basically introduced into India by the Indo-Greeks. Indo-Greeks were the one who introduced gold coins into India, and that too in the first century AD. Okay, point. Then we have punch marked coins. We just had a discussion on the punch marked silver coins. They came into circulation around 600 BC. 600 BC. Then plowshare, iron plow. When was the iron plow came into use in India? Basically, iron smelting technology was invented roughly around 1000 BC. So around 1000 BC, iron smelting technology was invented, and thereafterwards iron tools and weapons began to be made. So it is said that iron plow, mind you, wooden plow was known to the people from, even the point is, the Harappans were also aware of plow. Point is, even the Harappans were also aware of plow. That is, the Harappan civilization flourished between 2600 to 1900 BC. So it indicates that way back in 2600 BC itself, the Harappans were definitely aware of a plow, but they were aware of only wooden plow, not iron plow. Iron smelting technology was invented around 1000 BC, and thereafterwards, iron tools and weapons began to be made. They began to be manufactured. By and large, most scholars believe that iron plow was used during later Vedic period, that is between 1000 to 600 BC time period. Roughly at this point of time, the use of a plow began. The use of a plow began. That is between 1000 to 600 BC time period. At a point. Then, at what point of time the urban culture emerged in India? Harappan civilization is an example of an urban culture. So Harappa flourished between 2600 BC to about 1900 BC. So of the four, which is the earliest one? So definitely urban culture is the earliest one. So 4 should be the first option. Thereafter came the iron plow, that is around 1000 BC. The use of iron plow began. Then The punch marked silver coins came into use around 600 BC. That is option 2. Then we have gold coins which came into circulation in the 1st century AD. That is option 1. So this should be our answer. Pratik, you are right. At the point. So 4, 3, 2, 1 should be our option. The answer is option D. I hope I am clear. Question is on the use of different objects at different points of time. So this is a very important topic. This is a very important topic, and questions of this type could be asked even in the future examination. The point. So kindly remember this particular sequence. So urban culture is definitely Indus. Iron plough, it came into use around 1600 BC. Punch marked silver coins, they came into use around 600 BC. Gold coins, they came into circulation in the 1st century AD, and that too they were introduced into India by the Indo-Greeks. So this is the answer. So the 5th answer is option D. This was asked way back in 1998. Take a look at this question. Regarding the Indus Valley Civilization, consider the following statements. So you give it a try. What is the answer for this question? Anyone? Regarding the Indus Valley Civilization, consider the following statements. It was statement 1 says it was predominantly a secular civilization, and the religious element, though present, did not dominate the scene. That is option 1. Option 2, that is statement 2. During this period, that is during the Indus Valley Civilization period, cotton was used for manufacturing textiles in India. Cotton was used to manufacture or for manufacturing textiles in India. Which of the statements given above are correct? What's the answer? Anyone? Option C, both 1 and 2. Pratik, you are right. So let me explain this question. So statement 1 says basically this question is about the Indus Valley Civilization. Two statements have been given in this question. Statement 1 says that the Indus Valley Civilization was a secular civilization. Is it? Most scholars believe that the Indus Valley Civilization was a predominantly secular civilization. The scholars have come to this conclusion because no public place of worship has been discovered from the sites of Harappan civilization. Let me repeat. I'm not saying that the people of Indus Valley civilization were not religious. They were definitely very intensely religious. But for the Indus Valley people, religion was a private affair. Religion was a private affair. Religion was intensely the Harappan society perhaps was an intensely religious society, but religion was a matter of a public affair. I'm sorry, religion was a matter of a private affair during the Indus Valley times. How have we come to this conclusion? We have come to this conclusion because nowhere evidence of the public no in none of the cities of the Indus civilization, the evidence of any temple like structure has come to light till this point of time. Let me repeat this point once again. So the point is, from none of the cities of the Indus Valley civilization, or from now none of the sites of Indus Valley civilization, no temple like structure has been discovered so far, or no public place of worship has been discovered so far. Public place of worship means all people can go and offer prayers. Such public places of worship, like say a temple, has not been discovered so far from any of the site of the Indus Valley civilization. But certainly, various objects of worship have been discovered. But those objects of worship has been discovered mostly from the houses of the people. In the houses of the people, the objects of worship has been discovered, but no public place of worship has been discovered from any of the sites of Indus Valley civilization. And that made some scholars believe that the Harappan civilization was a predominantly secular civilization, because uh, because I'm not saying that there were really the Indus people were not religious at all. They were in fact very intensely religious, but religion was a matter of a private affair. It did not become a public affair during the Indus Valley times. So option A is in fact a right option. This option 2 is not very difficult to answer, because in the entire world, cotton was cultivated for the first time in the Indian subcontinent only. So we have a Neolithic site called Mehergarh in located in the Balochistan region of Pakistan. So we have a Neolithic site called Mehergarh located in Balochistan region of Pakistan. So way back in 5000 BC itself, the people of Mehergarh are said to have cultivated cotton. And in fact, the people of Mehergarh are said to be the first people in the entire world to have cultivated cotton. First people in the entire world to have cultivated cotton have, were the people of Mehergarh. That's the point. So basically, it was in the same Balochistan region that the Indus Valley civilization flourished between 2600 BC to about 1900 BC. In the same Balochistan region, the Indus Valley civilization also flourished. The Indus people were certainly aware of cotton. In fact, we have evidence now to prove that the Indus people had manufactured textiles on a very large scale. We now evidence to prove that the cotton and the cotton textiles were also exported to Sumeria. Sumeria is basically Mesopotamian civilization which flourished in Iraq, which is a contemporary civilization of the Harappan civilization. Let me repeat this point once again. We now have evidence to prove that the Harappans definitely were aware of cotton. They had also manufactured cotton textiles, which they have also exported to faraway, distant lands such as Sumeria. Sumeria, otherwise referred to as Mesopotamia, is a civilization that flourished in Iraq, and Sumerian civilization is a contemporary of the Harappan civilization. At my point. So the answer for this question is C. Both are correct. It was definitely a predominantly secular civilization because no public place of worship has been discovered so far. Second, cotton was used for manufacturing textiles in India. This statement is absolutely correct. At my point. So the answer for this question is option C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Come to the next question. And way back, take a look at this question. This was asked in 2011. Take a look at another question. Which of the following characterizes the people of Indus civilization? Which of the following characterizes the people of Indus civilization? So this was asked in 2013. So there is not much of a difference between the sixth question and the seventh question. Take a look at the seventh question. Statement 1 says, they possessed great places and temples. That is, the Indus people possessed great places and temples. Statement 2, they worshipped both male and female deities. Statement 3, they employed horse-drawn chariots in the warfare. What's the answer, anyone? Pratik? Any other student? Give it a try. B. You're right, Pratik. Let us take a look at this question once again. Which of the following characterizes the people of Indus civilization? Statement 1 says they possessed great places and temples. This statement is an incorrect one. We just discussed that the Indus people are the from the various sites of Indus Valley civilization. So far, the existence of temple-like structures has not been discovered. So this is an incorrect statement. Take a look at the second statement. The Harappans, that is, they worshipped both male and female deities. This is absolutely correct statement because from the excavations that were carried out from various Harappan sites, various terracotta figurines of females have been discovered. The terracotta figurines of females have been discovered, and many scholars believe that these terracotta figurines of a female were objects of worship during the Harappan times. Various terracotta figurines of a female have been discovered from various Harappan sites, and various scholars believe that these terracotta figurines of women happen to be the objects of worship. That's the point. Then we do get evidence of worship of a male god as well. It is the worship of a male god also comes from the Harappan side. So, for example, from Mohenjo-Daro, a very unique seal has been discovered. At Mohenjo-Daro, a very unique seal has been discovered. So, on this seal, a person was shown, an individual, that is, a man was shown seated in a Padmasana. This man shown on this seal discovered from Mohenjo-Daro was shown wearing a headgear in the shape of a trident shaped headgear. Uh, the point is, the individual shown on this seal was shown wearing a headgear in the shape of a trident. Then the individual shown on the seal was shown having three faces. So the individual was surrounded by so many animals. So many scholars believe that this seal discovered from Mohenjo-Daro was perhaps the male god worshipped during Harappan times. Male god worshipped during the Harappan times. The name given to this male god by the present day scholars is Pashupati Mahadeva. Pashupati Mahadeva. This is the name given by the scholars to the image, to the seal discovered from the site of Mohenjo-Daro. So clearly, statement 2 is a correct statement. They worshipped both male and female deities. It is true. Take a look at the third statement. They employed horse-drawn chariots in the warfare. Horse-drawn chariots. So the point is, we do not have any evidence as of now to conclude that the Harappans were aware of horse or horse-drawn chariots. The Harappans were neither aware of horse. Harappans were neither nor they were aware of any horse-drawn chariots. Definitely, we did not get any such evidence as of now. So basically, horse and horse-drawn chariots are said to have been introduced into the Indian subcontinent by the Aryans. Both horse and horse-drawn chariots are said to have been introduced into the Indian subcontinent by the Aryans. The point. So basically, neither horse nor the horse-drawn chariots were known to the Indus Valley people. So this is basically an incorrect statement. So only option 2 is the right answer. Option 2 is the right answer. This was asked way back in 2013. Take a look at another question. So this question was asked way back in 2017. Take a look at this question. With reference to the differences between the culture of the Rigvedic Aryans and the Indus Valley people, which of the following statements are correct? With reference to the differences between the culture of the Rigvedic Aryans and the Indus Valley people, which of the following statements are correct? Basically, this question can be answered only when we have knowledge of both the Indus Valley Civilization as well as the Vedic civilization. We have knowledge of both of these chapters, will be in a position to attempt this particular question. Anyway, take a look at the three options given in this particular, three statements given in this particular question. Statement 1. The Rigvedic Aryans used coat of mail and helmet in warfare, whereas the people of Indus Valley Civilization did not leave any evidence of using them. What is coat of mail? Coat of mail is basically a long, no, is basically coat of mail is a garment made up of uh, made up of uh, uh, iron rings. At a point. So basically, the coat of mail is a garment made up of iron rings, which were used by the soldiers during times of war. And similarly, helmet. This was also used by the soldiers during times of war. So basically, coat of mail and helmet are basically defensive weapons. These are basically defensive weapons at a point. So we clearly know now that the Aryans definitely used both the coat of mail as well as helmet. But from the excavations that were carried out, you are right, they are like jackets at a point. So whenever the individuals wearing the coat of mail are hit with a sword, not much injury happens to them. At a point. Basically, the people, the individuals who wear the coat of mail can withstand even attacks of a sword. I hope I'm clear. So the whole point is we now have evidence to prove that the Aryans were certainly aware of the coat of mail and a helmet. But in the excavations that were carried out from the Harappan sites, no evidence of the use of either the coat of mail or the helmet comes to us. So the point is, the Indus people were not aware of both the coat of mail as well as the helmet. So this statement 1 is a correct statement. That's the point. Basically, the Rigvedic Aryans used coat of mail and helmet in the warfare, whereas the people of Indus Valley Civilization did not leave any evidence of using them. So the statement 1 is a correct statement. Take a look at the second statement. Rigvedic Aryans knew gold, silver and copper, whereas Indus Valley people knew only copper and iron. So the point is, Rigvedic Aryans knew gold, silver, and copper. That is true. They were aware of gold, they were aware of silver, they were aware of copper, whereas Indus Valley people knew only copper and iron. The point is, I already told you in the previous question itself, Indus Valley civilization flourished between 2600 BC to about 1900 BC. Indus people used a range of metals like copper. Indus people also used bronze. But the use of iron in India began in 1000 BC only. The use of iron started in India around 1000 BC. So basically, the first half of the second statement, that is the Rigvedic Aryans having knowledge of gold, silver, and copper, is correct. But the Indus people having knowledge of only copper and iron is incorrect. The Indus people had knowledge of copper but not iron. The Indus people absolutely had no knowledge of iron at all. So the statement 2 is an incorrect statement. Good point. Take a look at the third statement. The Rigvedic Aryans had a domesticated horse, whereas there is no evidence of Indus Valley people having been aware of these animals. This question, the third option, was in fact asked in the 2013 question. Basically, uh, the Indus people neither had any knowledge of horse nor they had any knowledge of horse-drawn chariots. So basically, the Rigvedic Aryans had domesticated horses. It is true. whereas there is no evidence of Indus Valley people having been aware of this animal. This is also a very correct statement. So statement 1 is a correct statement. Statement 3 is also correct statement. Statement 2 is incorrect. So 1 and 3 are the answer. So option C is the right answer. 2 point. So you can see that there are some themes, uh, and these themes get repeated uh, every 3 or 4 years in the UPSC examination. So if you are aware of these themes, themes like the metals that were used during the Harappan times, the trade, the seals, important sites, horse, etc. If you are aware of all of these themes, then no matter how question is framed, you should not find it difficult answering those questions. The point. Fine. So I hope this session is of some help to you. That's all for today. See you in the next class. So we will meet again and take up a discussion on some other topic. That's all for today. See you in the next class.